France 24's Philip Turle joins me on the set now to talk a bit more about the U.S. midterms. Philip, first of all, talk us through the key states still in play.
Right, well, as things stand right now, Jeannie, we are still waiting for 4 important swing states to declare their votes. They are Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin. And in one particular case, Georgia, if there is such a heated race and neither candidate obtains more than 50% of the vote, that means there will be a runoff vote which will take place in December. That means the whole process will be delayed even longer. So we may get a pretty much of an exact picture later today about what is happening in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, but we won't maybe get a complete picture for quite a long while to come now. There have been some important victories that we have seen. I think the main one of the night so far has been Jim Fetterman, the Democrat who's pulled off Pennsylvania. Now, he had a stroke earlier this year and was severely handicapped. He was not expected to win in that race because he was face-to-face with Dr. Mehmet Oz, who was the famous doctor on the Oprah Winfrey television program, who was given as the favorite. So that's a major disappointment for the Republicans. And that is also a sign that things have not gone exactly the way the Republicans, and notably Donald Trump, have been saying over the past few hours, that this was going to be a real increase in the grab of seats for the Republicans over the Democrats. That certainly doesn't seem to have materialized. As you were saying, as the situation stands now, the House of Representatives looks like it's going to be in the hands of the Republicans, 198 to 178, but it's still up for grabs in the Senate with both sides equally on 48 seats. So as a reminder that 51 seats is the number needed to take control of the Senate. Now, there is one other important victory that has happened overnight, and that is in Florida for Ron DeSantis, who did much better this time round and even managed to secure votes, Ron DeSantis, for the Republicans from groups who would have previously voted for the Democrats. And his increase in support is now putting him very strongly in a contending position to run for President of the United States in the primaries, the Republican primaries, face-to-face, maybe with Donald Trump.
Right, Ron DeSantis there, governor of Florida. Now, it's true Joe Biden's Democrats did do better than we saw with other Democratic presidents in the past, Bill Clinton, even Barack Obama. Why do we think the Democrats came out better than predicted?
Yeah, it's actually been quite a strange night, because if you think about the fact that the Democrats are saying, well, this is a victory for us, where they're probably going to lose the House of Representatives and the Senate is still up for grabs. It's almost like, well, we're clinging on to the hope that we might pull something off that was absolutely out of all of our aspirations before these elections took place. I think they're looking at it on that front, that this is not going to be such a bad night after all for the Democrats, and probably not such a good night for the Republicans. Now, there are, I think, several reasons for that. There's been a surge of support from certainly much younger people across the United States for voting in areas where there is a risk that the abortion law could be struck down. Remember, earlier this year, the Roe versus Wade was struck down by the Supreme Court in the United States. There's a lot of anguish about that. That certainly pushed a lot of support into the hands of the Democrats. And I think that the feeling is that although there is a lot of ill feeling towards the way Joe Biden has handled the economy and the fact that he's dwelt too much on the issue that democracy is under threat during this election, and not enough emphasis has been put forward for people to help them make ends meet at the end of the month with rising fuel costs and rising gas prices across the United States, that there's still a lot of reluctance to actually hand power back completely to the Republicans and to Donald Trump, who still, or supporters of Donald Trump, who are still quite divisive figures in the United States. And I think that's, in a way, in some areas also hindered the hopes of the Republicans of pulling off a much bigger victory in these midterm elections.
All right, Philip, thanks for that. France 24's Philip Turle.